that the people of India are being denied an opportunity to discuss and to get to the bottom of very critical issues in the parliament. An opposition party should strive its very best to be heard, to be part of a discussion, to raise very important questions, and to put the government, if it comes to it, on the mat and ask for questions, ask for answers. But the Congress party today seems to want every debate outside rather than in the parliament. Whether it is an issue as important and as critical as that which concerns the national security, or whether it is talking about a bill like GST, which would make India as one whole market, and which has been waiting from 2006, when Mr. Chidambaram had asked, when he brought it out, saying GST has to be brought into this country, and since then you saw Pranab Mukherjee ji talking about it. And in fact, at that time, if I remember correct, April 2014 was even marked as a date for rollout of GST. So whether you're talking about GST-like bills, or there are several such issues, legislative and otherwise, which have to be talked in detail, and not just the Congress party, there are other parties which also want to have an in-depth, meaningful debate. But it is just the confused Congress. I say confused because you may have observed that in the way they take stand or they express their position in the parliament, their position has kept changing. You want discussion, is your first day anxiety. And when, much to their surprise, I may want to say, much even to their shock, when the government readily, instantly agreed, saying, yes, start the debate now, they were taken aback and they said, no, let us first discuss why a debate is necessary on the topic. And just frittered the time away. And after which, the next day, they come up with a conditionality saying, no, only if resignations happen will there be a debate. And that wasn't even an idea which they had. If they indeed thought over it and had it as an idea, their next day adjournment statement which was given to the chair, asking for all of the business to be adjourned and taking up this for discussion, did not even mention resignation. And when that was stated, you have an objection saying, oh, how could the papers move around like that? These are simple parliamentary procedures where every such adjournment motion or request for it gets to be given to every member of the House. So the Congress party's position kept moving because eventually they did not want a debate. Eventually they did not want the facts to come out. Confused Congress does not know if they should play the role of an opposition in the parliament and naturally play the role of the opposition outside also. And this for a party which does not even have the stature of the principal opposition party in the Lok Sabha. If this confusion prevails, very clearly, in spite of the fact that you're not even reaching the position, you don't even have the number of seats required to be the recognized principal opposition party. And if your stature itself is confusing you, wonder what your debates are going to be like. Today, the Congress party is failing the people of India from playing the role of an opposition party. Every debate and every issue is being made an issue outside of the House, whether it is even on the issue of capital punishment. Is this the time? And if it has got to be the time, is this the way to go about it? If the party wants to have a debate on any such issue, government is fully prepared. And BJP as a party is fully prepared for any discussion. But no, if the intention is for debate, the confusion of the Congress will not be so apparent every day. The Parliamentary Affairs Ministry organizes for an all-party meeting in which the Prime Minister also comes in. The Speaker holds her meeting, all-party meeting. There are ever so many preparatory meetings towards before the session commences. You reveal your intentions, but when you come into the House, it's very different. Gurdaspur, the Home Minister wants to make a statement, the Congress party doesn't want to hear it. All of the parties are willing to hear, no, we will be obstructionist even on an issue of national security. And later, in the Lok Sabha, when the Home Minister had to make the statement, he makes it, and later there is an objection raised saying, how could you speak after you sit down for the first time? Again, the rule book was brought in saying, he has got every business to join in, he can, as per rule, stand up and speak again. The confusion is what is prevailing, and that is the cause for people of India being denied meaningful parliamentary session. If I only can quote to you how the budget session proved, Congress was there even then, how the budget session in the Lok Sabha proved that nearly 128% of its time was fully utilized, and the Rajya Sabha, never before in the history, 103%, over 100% performance in the Rajya Sabha. This government has shown, has proven that taking all parties together, discussing and working together with every party which is present in the parliament, it can prove that parliament will run and will run successfully. Not just in the utilization of its time, but also doing legislative business. The Congress is afraid of just this. They do not want the success of this government in the parliament. They want to show that this government is incapable of running the parliament, and therefore want to show off as they are unable to hold the parliament together. Whereas the budget session 2015 proved that this government can pass legislative businesses much better than UPA's 1 and 2 term put together. I don't want to take your time by giving statistics, but it is a point to be taken into consideration that the Congress is afraid that this government within 1 year has shown its capacity, even in a house where several such opposition parties exist, to take them on board and to keep running the parliament successfully. The budget session is a classic example I would like to take. And even if you take the example of other sessions before it, discussions were held, and on the request, and sometimes even without the request of the opposition, where necessary, the Prime Minister has intervened. If indeed you want the Prime Minister to intervene, you would start the discussion first. You would not run away after having asked for a discussion, thinking, oh, the next condition would be, will the Prime Minister come in? Will he speak? And then I will say yes for a discussion. That's not how it works. There are at least 4 instances. In fact, I would say if you take the 2 houses into consideration, 5 instances when the Prime Minister in the last 1 year has intervened in critical debates. So to say that, oh, the Prime Minister is keeping quiet, why is he remaining mum? And is this not what you accused the previous Prime Minister of? Are absolutely baseless. The Prime Minister, this NDA's Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has intervened as and when critical debates have happened on the request and sometimes even without the request of the opposition. Again, on legislative business, it's important to say that the government has yielded, even on bills like the land bill, that if it has to go to a joint committee, it has been sent. The confused Congress again. You have your members working in the committees, but outside every day, outside where the Congress is really wanting the debate and not in the parliament, Outside every day, you have your leaders saying not an inch of land will be acquired. Not an inch of land will be allowed to be acquired. Clearly today the Congress party is against every such bill which is going to improve the economy of this country. Whether it's the GST, whether it's the land bill where their own chief ministers, even as recently as yesterday, Congress has ruled states have said impossible to acquire land under the 2013 Land Act. The Congress party believes in leaving this country and retaining this country in poverty. And towards that end, it does not want any such bill to be passed which will bring in greater buoyancy to the economy, whether it is the unifying of India's market through the GST, whether it's the land bill through which greater fundamental infrastructure reforms can reach villages, and even bills such as the whistleblower bill, which are pending. Therefore, it is very clear that the Congress party's strategies are just knee-jerk, not even thought out. And in the lower house, they sit with a black band. In the upper house, they come to the wells with placards, which is what they're doing now, even in the lower house. And all this right under the nose of the Congress President, Srimati Sonia Gandhi. Placards being thrown at the Speaker's chair. Right under the nose of the President of the Congress Party. It is utterly shocking that they obstruct, they don't want a debate. When debate is offered on demand, they run away from it. The next day they come up with newer conditions. And even worse, their conduct is in spite of the chair repeatedly requesting, they're constantly in the well with placards, obstructing the Speaker or the honorable member who stands up to speak and the chair. That's a fundamental basic rule of the houses. You will not, in fact, even the marshals are expected to walk with their heads down in case they happen to be between the member of parliament and the chair. These are basic courtesies. No, today, the Congress party's own learned members are there with placards which are between the chair and the member who stands up to speak. Basic courtesies of the House are being absolutely violated with great impunity right when the chair of Congress party is present in the House. So Congress party should introspect. Do they want only debates outside? Are they elected to be in the parliament but with no debate at all? And I'll finish this, my press statement with one observation. Repeatedly the BJP is told, oh, isn't this what you did in 2010 winter session? I'd like to point out the difference. 2G was a scandal which was brought out by the CAG. Even the quantum of loss which was being mounted on the state of India, the loss which was being made to the exchequer was even given as an option, 1,76,000. Repeatedly through the media, the kind of facts which were coming out were clear that the minister concerned, the finance minister then, both of whom who were supposed to brief the Prime Minister before the final decisions on the auction were to be taken, claimed that the briefing were held, but no minutes were available. These are facts which all of you all brought out. With such blatant omissions and commissions, the BJP did ask for the resignation, really highlighted the CAG's report and the absence of the minutes, absence of records, absence of clear, transparent processes through which the whole auction were to be held, were more than enough reason to ask for a resignation. To compare that with the situation which prevails today, where no violation of law has happened, is absolutely, to say it mildly, comparing apples with oranges. And therefore, with that said, I would think it's time for the Congress party to introspect. Is this the kind of performance Srimati Sonia Gandhi wants of her members of parliament in both the houses? Is this the kind of leadership with which she is going to lead the opposition party today in this country? Is this what the people of India expect Srimati Sonia Gandhi to do? And is this the understanding of Congress party, that today their role as opposition party would only be this and nothing more? And is parliament going to be insulted, whether the select committee or standing committee, or even on their request the joint committee, where the members are supposed to work? No. Members may work or not, but my instruction from outside will be, nothing will happen here. Are you afraid of Sri Narendra Modi led NDA government's performance in the parliament in the last 1 year? Are you afraid that whenever the Prime Minister gets up to stand to tell you the truth about your role in asking for a debate and running away from it, are you afraid that whenever the Prime Minister stands up to speak, he actually comes out with hard-hitting facts which appeal to the people of India and that exposes the Congress party? Are you afraid of the Prime Minister standing up and speaking, that today you do not want him to come and speak, but you want to pretend that you're asking for a debate and running away from it? The Congress party should introspect. Thank you. भारतीय जनता पार्टी को लगता है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी संसद में नहीं, बाहर चर्चा करने में दिलचस्पी रखती है। आज वो मुख्य विपक्षी पार्टी के स्थान ग्रहण करने में भी दिक्कत है। उनको उस स्थायी पर आने में जितने सीट चाहिए उतना नहीं मिला और उसके कारण उसका प्रिंसिपल ऑपोजिशन पार्टी का दर्जा नहीं मिली। फिर भी ऑपोजिशन पार्टी के रोल अगर वो ग्रहण करके उस जिम्मेदारी को निभाना चाहते हैं तो चर्चा पार्लियामेंट में होना चाहिए, मगर पार्लियामेंट में चर्चा ना करते हुए सड़क पर चर्चा करना चाहते हैं कांग्रेस पार्टी। जो भी मुद्दा हो, नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का मुद्दा हो, आर्थिक विषयों के विषय हो, जीएसटी बिल हो, लैंड बिल हो, हमें लगता है कांग्रेस पार्टी इस देश की आर्थिक विषयों में भारत देश आगे बढ़ाने में उनका अच्छा नहीं लगता और उनके मन में लगता है कि क्या गरीबी से मिटा करके लोग आगे उनके डेवलपमेंट हो जाते हैं, उनके वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स में कुछ सेंध लग जाता है। इसके कारण भारत को ऐसे ही रखना चाहिए जिसमें इतने सारे पोटेंशियल है आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, और लैंड बिल हो, जीएसटी बिल हो, ऐसे बिल के द्वारा भारत की आर्थिक सुविधा और आर्थिक सशक्तिकरण हो सकता है, उसके खिलाफ है कांग्रेस पार्टी। ये मेरा आरोप है। अगर भारत आगे बढ़ना है आर्थिक विषयों में, ऐसे बिल जो 2006 से पेंडिंग है उसको समर्थन कांग्रेस पार्टी क्यों ना देंगे? इसीलिए हमें लगता है कि आज कांग्रेस पार्टी बहुत सारे विषय में कंफ्यूज्ड है। जैसे कि चर्चा मांग रहे हैं, जब चर्चा के लिए तुरंत हमारे नेतागण एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, चर्चा से भाग रही है कांग्रेस, और अगले दिन आकर के नया शर्त लगते हैं कि रेसिग्नेशन दो पहले और उसके बाद हम बात करते हैं चर्चा के बारे में। या तो चर्चा आवश्यकता क्या है उसके ऊपर पहले चर्चा करेंगे। पार्लियामेंट्री टाइम को इतना वेस्ट करने का आवश्यकता नहीं है जब सरकार तैयार है चर्चा के लिए। कांग्रेस की कंफ्यूजन बहुत सारे ऐसे उनके निर्णय के द्वारा हमें दिखता है। लगता है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी दिशाहीन है, और ये भी लगता है कि आज श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी के नेतृत्व में और उनके प्रेजेंस के सामने ही, बिल्कुल उनके सामने ही जब वो बैठे हैं हाउस में, कांग्रेस पार्टी के सदस्य वेल पर आते हैं और हाउस के रूल्स के खिलाफ प्लेकार्ड्स होल्ड करते हैं। चेयर का पूरे के पूरे उनके प्लेकार्ड्स के वजह से बंद करते हैं, दिखाई नहीं देते चेयर। ऐसे का उनके प्रवर्तन के वजह से लगता है कि कानून, हाउस के रूल्स को उल्लंघन कर रहे हैं और सरासर अध्यक्षा कांग्रेस के सामने ही ये सब हो रही है। क्या यही है उनका नेतृत्व के एग्जाम्पल्स? हम कांग्रेस पार्टी से मांगते हैं कि ये सब आज हमारी जनता देख रही है। क्या विपक्ष में बैठे हुए यही आपके दायित्व है? कांग्रेस पार्टी पुनर्आलोचना करना चाहिए, इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए। No, these are different things. Talking about states, whether it's Vyapam or anything else, we have explained it. The rules of the House doesn't permit talking about states. But if you want to change the rules of the House and talk about it, very well. Some members from this side of the House have given some proposal for talking about, say, Vyapam. Some other members from this side of the House have given proposals to talk about Himachal Pradesh. A third member from some other side of the House have given discussions to talk about Kerala solar scam. So if the House decides that much against the prevailing rules, they want to change the rules, well, they can. And if they want to change it and discuss, these are the proposals which we want to highlight, that all of them be taken up. I understand that. I understand that. That is a part of the parliamentary strategy of the party, and we will, of the government, and the government will work on it. But what is apparent is what is the strategy. You can't ask me. I mean, even if you ask me, I won't be able to say why till today it hasn't happened. Can it happen tomorrow? What is happening? Isolation is not the approach that we like to take. We want all parties to be on board. And that is why I took the example of the budget session. We are not here to play politics there in the parliament. We want every party to understand the nature of the bills that we want to bring in here, understand the nature of issues which we want to talk. Gurdaspur and issues earlier where the Prime Minister intervened, whether it is talking about Zakir Rahman Lakwi, issues like that will have to be discussed. Every party will have to be on board. We would like to have all parties. Isolate one and do business with the rest? Well, that may be a strategy, but our intention is to have everybody talk, discuss. So if you're telling me, oh, all right, isolate them and get going with others, our approach has been, we want everyone to come to the business advisory meetings, talk about it, get going in discussions in the parliament. I hope not. I hope not. And that is one of the reasons why all of us are talking to all parties, all of us are telling them, and I, for instance, today, from the BJP, want to say what the Congress is doing, which is not going to be liked by the people of India. And which is not a result of, I think, a concerted decision-making, a considered decision-making process in the Congress, but a result of complete confusion. And that's a disservice to the people of India. मुझे वो खबर सही है कि गलत है मुझे मालूम नहीं है, क्योंकि ये भी सुनने में आ रहे हैं कि वो साहब ने जो तरह के जॉब कर रहे हैं, दो जगह पर काम कर रहे हैं, शायद वो बात बाहर आने से पहले कुछ बहाना करके बाहर, इस बहाने में बाहर आ गए हैं। ये भी गलत, ये भी खबर आ रही है, मुझे पता नहीं कौन सी करेक्ट है कौन सी गलत है, मगर ये आपके सामने मैं रख रही हूं, क्योंकि हमें मालूम नहीं है कि कौन सा है कारण। हाँ, नहीं, उसके ऊपर मैं क्यों कमेंट करूं? एक व्यक्ति उनके अपने मन में जो बातें कर रहा है, करने दो। मैं पता कर लेती हूँ कहाँ ये स्टेटमेंट उन्होंने किया। यहाँ आने से पहले तक मुझे तो खबर नहीं है, आपसे ही सुन रही हूँ ये बात। We'll welcome a debate on it. But where the party, and very clearly when the FMI and Information Broadcasting Minister Shri Jaitley spoke about it, was to say, today that is a decision which has been according to the existing laws, and therefore it's been. And when the conviction is happening, to be giving a communal color to it and saying, oh, therefore it shouldn't happen, is absolutely condemnable. Whereas we are not against a debate on death penalty. We are quite okay to participate in it whenever it can happen. All of us will be okay discussing it. But I think the way it has happened, on the day it has happened, has given a very we are willing to join the debate. It's laughable that the Congress party spends time on something which has been an election-related issue since 2003. And let me here tell you that 3 prominent leaders of the Congress had raised the issue. Captain Amarinder Singh, senior leader Motilal Vora, and Shri Anand Sharma. Later, sometime in the court, Captain Amarinder Singh went about saying, sorry, I'm not aware that I had made a statement of something. I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting his words. He even claimed that he respects Shri Dhumal and no such a thing. The press has misrepresented his statement. Something to that order. That is Captain Amarinder Singh. Shri Motilal Vora and Anand Sharma's matter, the same matter, is in the court, and it's been in the court for last 11 years. And much to my surprise, they don't even appear in the court. Shri Vora gives apparently the excuse that he's elderly, he's not able to be mobile, 85 years old if I'm right. And the court today has said, look, we give you August 22nd as the final date, you appear, or else we shall proceed with the hearings. And if indeed they are so serious about the allegations which they have thought fit to go and reiterate now, BJP would like to ask as to why for the 11 years in the court they have not even appeared. And why did Captain Amarinder Singh say, oh, it is a press misinterpretation, not my statement. I respect Mr. Dhumal. Again, the confused Congress wants to have the cake and eat it too. Allege, ask for excuse, and then go about using the same baseless data to keep the allegation going. It's anyway in the court, sir. Fight it out in the court if you have gone to the court. You don't appear there. You go and say, sorry, it's a misinterpretation. And today, because you want to have press coverage, you go and use it for the media in a press conference back again. Who in the Congress is willing to answer the questions about why Captain Amarinder Singh said sorry in the court and withdrew his statement and said it's a misinterpretation of the press? And why for 11 years they've not even attended the court? If it is a serious allegation, be serious in the court too. That itself proves that Congress party is running out of issues, doesn't know where to keep its face, because the allegation of corruption against Sri Veerbhadra Singh was so effectively raised from this platform by my senior colleague Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad last week, only to deflect the attention of the people of Himachal Pradesh and people of India, have Congress party gone rushing to Himachal today to say, oh no, there is an allegation against Mr. Dhumal. What happened to that allegation for 11 years? And why did one of your senior colleagues say sorry for it? Pay. Well, I think Mahesh Sharma himself, to be fair to him, said that he has to go back to seeing the statement. But the government wouldn't mind discussing this issue if it comes to it. But at the moment, there is nothing which the government has said on it. We will be okay if at all if it comes to discussing it, we are okay to discuss it. I hope not is my answer, one. And second, well, tomorrow the meeting should happen. As I said, if the Congress wants to play an effective opposition, the stature of which has not been given to them, if they want to play the effective opposition's role, they should really participate in the meeting and be clear of what they want, which they're not doing. At every stage, they're only appearing as though they want to stick to their own position that they've caught hold of. It's very clear, and all of you all are also seeing it. It's a different thing for you to ask me as to why wouldn't you want to isolate the Congress because other parties are willing to participate in one or the other debates. The fact is, Congress today doesn't know what is the exit option they have after having taken an untenable position. They've taken such untenable position. Today they pushed against the wall. They don't have an exit option, and they think they don't have. I would think they have. They can always honorably accept the government's offer of have a debate. Have a debate. And that's what the parliament is for. And I again contrast between UPA's attitude when it was in government and NDA's attitude when we are in government. We are willing to discuss. UPA did not want it. And it was a shame that after having lost the winter session of 2010, immediately after the end of that session, they agreed to the very demand that the opposition had asked for, JPC. And if you indeed wanted to give the JPC, couldn't you save the session? That blame lies on the Congress as ruling party then. And today the blame lies on the Congress party if this session gets washed out. Government has offered to discuss. And if the Congress party is obstinate, being now in a push to a corner, up against the wall, if they still do not want a debate, and if unfortunately, I hope not, God forbid, and I hope that the session will be, coming back to doing its parliamentary business. But if at all it gets washed out, the complete blame, like the way the complete blame of 2010 winter session lies with the Congress, this will also lie at the Congress's doorstep. And Srimati Sonia Gandhi will have to now, then she was the UPA chairperson. Now as Congress party's chairperson, she will have to take the blame squarely. I thought you were here. Well, we do not know. We really do not know. I said the Congress is confused. The Congress is confused whether for Rahul Gandhi they will agree, whether to have the Prime Minister to come and speak they will agree. No, there doesn't seem to be a logical consistency of decision making in the opposition party, which is Congress today. Unfortunate. उनकी मेमोरी शायद कम है, मैं I want to remind you that their own once upon a time home minister and then the finance minister also said no, he didn't say it in the parliament, वो जयपुर में कुछ अधिवेशन में किया है. और let us also understand, उसके बाद श्री राहुल गांधी जी एक फॉरेन डेलीगेट्स के साथ, वीआईपी के साथ प्राइम डिनर टेबल में बैठ करके एक डिप्लोमेट से भी कहा लश्कर तोयबा से डेंजरस हिंदू टेरर है. ये राहुल गांधी जी के बयान है जी. इसीलिए हिंदू आतंकवादी के विषय के ऊपर कांग्रेस पार्टी में एक बार नहीं, दो बार नहीं, और छोटे स्तर के लीडर नहीं, होम मिनिस्टर और कांग्रेस पार्टी के वाइस प्रेसिडेंट भी सिर्फ हमारे साथ नहीं, इस देश के अंदर नहीं, विदेशी रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स के साथ भी, और किससे तुल करके, किससे कंपेयर करते हुए, लश्कर तोयबा जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से कंपेयर करते हुए. इसीलिए राजनाथ जी, माननीय होम मंत्री, सही कहा कि टेररिज्म के खिलाफ जो लड़ाई है उसको कमजोर करने वाले काम कांग्रेस ने किया है, इस उदाहरण लेते हुए. वो सही बात है. All right, but then the political decision makers have been propagating the idea. They should be able to tell as to why they propagated it. And today, let me remind you, I'll ask him about that. And he can also be, I'm sure he is accessible to you all. But the party's position, you know. But I will definitely highlight that when they went to the UN, they filed a statement which proved that the international terror was being perpetrated, even in that Samjhota Express and bomb, that it was indeed the Pakistani, supported, perpetrated, or Pakistani-based organizations which have done it. And if indeed you were talking about, yes, there was a UN resolution, where they were trying to internationally ban organizations. The input which went from Indian government did say that in those incidents of terrorist attacks, Pakistani-based organizations were the one which participated. Whereas here, they would name the Hindu terror for those very cases. There can't be two different groups working together on that particular one incident, madam. And therefore, I quote that. And in that, after that, I'm not implying, I'm saying bluntly. There's no implication. I'm straightly, openly, bluntly saying what I want to say. And I'm bluntly saying, madam, I am very clearly saying that the confused Congress, then being in power, made a statement which was opposite to what they were making here, alleging a particular group here and taking the name of some other group there for the same incident. And if it's for the same incident, a right-wing group, the so-called Hindu terror group about which they are talking, and a Pakistani perpetrated group are working together, is that conceivable? Let me also further take it up. And there, after that, if really the Hindu terror is what they wanted, till today, of course the government has changed, but the facts of the case, and now the court is dealing with it. They could not even file an FIR in many of those cases till their government was thrown out. If indeed for 6 years they couldn't even mount the charges. But orally, the vice president, the former home minister, would all speak about Hindu terror. Thank you.